What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, Steeler family, to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. And my camera is off. Give me a second, guys. As y'all see the camera bleeding out of the green screen. But what's up, family? How's everybody doing, man? Again, welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, aka the virtual Heinz Phil. What's happening? So as you guys know, what we always do early, especially on Tuesday, because we don't want to waste so much time, dive right into saying what's up to the early commenters, as well as I give you my quick takes, and then we bring the phone calls on. So let me announce that right now, man, for the phone calls. The phone number is 619-924-0818. Again, that is 619-924-0818. I will say it again. Looks like we just got somebody that's subscribed, and I missed the name. I apologize for that, but I definitely thank you for subscribing. So, all right, before we get started, like we do each and every week, or each and every show, if you will, I'm going to go through. As you see, I'm looking in the chat. I'm going to say what's up to the early commenters, and then we shall get it on. So let's see who was first. First in the queue, Mr. ABS. And I actually did see you a little earlier when I peeked in there. He says, "This is a first for me, mad early and waiting for the stream to start. Peace and love, Steelers family." Yeah, man, I appreciate that, Mr. ABS. And like you said, I don't think you have been first before. Excuse the noise there, guys. I had to adjust the microphone. Jason Winterham, Mr. Winterham, how you doing this evening, sir? Thank you for coming through like always. SteelersNation 412, Rajon 39, Double T 1614. Hello, Miss Lanisha, how you doing this evening? Thank you for coming through to hang out with the guys. We appreciate you each and every week. Drama Sidel. Who else is in here? Charlie Brown, Football Mind 02, Tony Barnes, Ollie Howard, Stone and Confused. What's up? Good to see you again. Michael Garman, good to see you again, Michael. Hello, Miss Destiny. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with the boys this evening. We definitely appreciate that. Always welcome our lovely ladies to the show. Vista Light, here's another one. Hello, the real Missy. Thank you as well, Miss Lady, for coming through and hanging out with the boys tonight. We always appreciate you all. Eric McDuffie, King Guru Lee, MJ. Who else we got up in here, man? Let's read maybe a couple more and then we'll get at it. Dominique is in the building. Or Dominic. It's not Neek, it's Dominic. Dominic, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, Dominic, so I'm going to stay away from it. I don't want to offend. Daryl Dukes, Lydell Dorsey, father-in-law Leonard Langley in the building. Say what's up to Leonard, everybody. And, of course, my good buddy Kenyon is in the building, as always, my Aries brother right there. All right, man, let's jump right into it. You said just call me Dom. All right, Dom, that's what's up. I like that. This is what I will be talking about, folks. Let me pull up my trusty notes here, and I will let you guys know exactly where I'm going tonight. I'm not going to do the timestamps tonight. I've been kind of thinking about that, actually. Let me share that with you guys. I know we don't have so many games left, but you know, if you're going to rewatch the game, you're going to rewatch the game. And I don't know if I really need to give you the timestamps, but the reason why I'm kind of go away from doing that, since I'm not showing the footage publicly, I don't want to take too much time doing that. I've noticed when I was doing that, I was really taking too much time, and the show just went way longer than it needed to be. You know, again, Tuesday is for you guys, it's for the callers, so I think it's more important for me to just give you some quick recap notes and get to the calls instead of me time stamping plays, and then I take forever explaining the play, and just my personal choice, man, and I hope you guys understand. So, all right, here's where I'm going tonight. We're definitely going to talk about the injury report as we know it today. We'll talk a little bit about Ahkello Witherspoon, Montravius Adams, who gets the credit for the Steelers, winning over the Ravens. That will be the main topic, which we'll hold that in the tuck until after the phone calls. I usually like to finish the show with the main topic. Talk a little bit about James Pierre and, did we expect him to be benched so soon? And then we'll also talk about Ahkello Witherspoon's trajectory, Week 13 recap, like I said, and then calls from SteelersNation. So first, let's get into the injury report, man. And this would be as of today, Tuesday, December the 7th. Ben Roethlisberger was a full participant. Chase Claypool, full participant. Joe Hayden did not practice. Let me remind you guys that this is in a very, very, very condensed week. They practiced yesterday. They practiced today. Tomorrow is probably more like a walkthrough. We play Thursday. No Joe Hayden. That could be significant. Robert Spillane did not practice, even though I believe he was activated off of the COVID list. And I'm not sure if anyone is currently on the COVID list now. I think maybe BJ Finney or Haig, Joe Haig, one of those guys. But Robert Spillane didn't practice, again, which is interesting, even though he was activated off of the COVID list. Trey Turner was a full participant. BJ Finney did not practice. Isaiah Buggs did not practice. And Cameron Haymond did practice. All right, now if we're looking at Minnesota, Dalvin Cook, limited. Adam Thielen did not practice. Linebacker Blake Lynch is limited. Christian Darrisaw, we all know him, the tackle, did not participate. Anthony Barr was a full participant. Ryan Connolly, full participant. Cameron Bynum, full participant. Eric Kendricks, full. Mackenzie Alexander, full. Bashard Breeland, full. And Patrick Peterson was a full. And really quick, guys, before I dive all the way into the show, let me show you what I got here, man. Nothing special as far as, this grandiose thing, but it's definitely special to me. Look at this. Look. See my little plastic cup? Steelers. Got some iced tea in there. But the reason why I want to show this cup and why it's special to me, my little nephew bought these cups for me, man. My nephew, Karan. Now, hopefully, Karan will be able to see this. Hello, Karan. And I told you how much I appreciated you when you bought these cups. And now I'm telling it to you here on YouTube in front of everybody. The reason why this is special to me, guys, is because, Karan is my 11-year-old nephew. And the fact that he was in the store, I think it was with his mom or his dad, can't remember who he was with. He saw these cups and he thought about his uncle. And he wanted to buy those cups for his uncle. I thought that's special. Very special, because he's my wife's nephew, but you know me, I don't do that, by marriage and half this and half that. No. That's my nephew. You know what I'm saying? So it was just special, man. Special for a kid. I guess what I would say, you guys know I always try to throw life stuff out there. You never know how you are affecting a child or the youth, or you never know who's watching you and what they're watching you for. So like I said, the fact that he does something like that at that age, and he's really paying attention and he's in tune to what I'm doing, that's special to me, man. So I just wanted to say that. But let's get into it, shall we? Who we want to talk about first? Let's see. No. I gotta roll the dice here. Who do I want to talk about first? Let's talk about James Pierre. Gotta ask you guys, did you expect James Pierre to get benched so soon? Let me set the stage. James Pierre is a guy that we all had some interest in, since last year, since playing in the game against Cleveland. We saw his potential. Coming into the season, we saw him make a couple plays here and there. We saw him being more of a sticky corner, if you will. And what I mean by that is, he's usually in play. He's usually in phase. He's usually around the ball, right? We saw that. We also saw some lumps from him as expected, right? But all of a sudden, the Steelers get thrashed against the Bengals. And Mike Tomlin comes out and says that there's going to be some changes. He said, albeit maybe subtle, but they will be significant. So none of us really knew exactly what that included. I know a lot of people probably thought it was going to have something to do with Devin Bush, didn't it? Didn't y'all think that? You thought it was going to have something to do with Devin Bush, didn't you? Not so much. And maybe because Spillane was unavailable, maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. But where we did see changes, we saw changes in acquiring Montravius Adams, who I'm going to talk about here in a moment. And then we saw one James Pierre get benched. Now, yeah, he didn't have a great game against Cincinnati. But given the fact that it's his second year, he is he's the new starter, you would think that maybe he's allowed to go through more lumps. Not saying I disagree with sitting him down if he was really causing us a lot of problems. I'm not going to say that because, again, against Cincinnati, first time we played him, he had a mistake. He gave up the touchdown to Chase, Jamar Chase. And, you kind of heard what Keith Butler had to say, as far as you got to know the situation. Why are you playing up? The guy's trying to get in the end zone. So maybe the coaches have seen enough of the inconsistency to bench him. But the reason why I asked you guys that, I didn't see it. I didn't see that happening in this game. And like I see somebody here saying, let's say hello to the other ladies, man, who've joined us. Miss Debbie and Miss Odessa. Thank you for coming through and hanging out with the boys tonight, man. We definitely appreciate that. Some of you guys are saying here it was a wake-up call. May have been. But I didn't see it. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't see it. I did not see that James Pierre would not be in the defensive rotation because even when they went into dime, Justin Lane was out there. Very interesting. But what do you guys think? I'll spend some time here in the chat. What do you guys think, man? Did y'all see that coming? Or were you expecting to see someone else, maybe, like I said, a Devin Bush maybe get sat down? Let me see what you guys got. I'm only going to spend a few minutes here because I want to keep the show moving along. Moving along. And if y'all take too long, I'm going to just move along. Yeah, double T me either. I did not see that coming. Yup says the same thing. No, I did not see that one coming. Why Diggy says I was expecting to see some Buddy Johnson. Absolutely. So was I. Why Diggy, being that Buddy Johnson was active. See, it's kind of like, wasn't he active? Or do I have that wrong? I think he was active, right? Because it was Haskins, Buggs, Hayden, Davis. Who was it? McFarland. Yeah, so Buddy Johnson was active. Nate Drew says, really thought it would have been Devin. Yeah, me too. So that was unexpected. Lyle McComb says, expected Bush to get sat based on coaches' comments. Yeah. So coaches pulled one out of their hats, man, that none of us saw coming, and it seemed to have been beneficial. I'll talk a little bit more about Ahkello here in a moment. Well, actually, I'll talk about him now. I might as well talk about him now because I'm going to get to him anyway. Listen. I'm not ready to say that he's going to be the best option or what have you. I'm not here willing to say that he's definitely going to be head and shoulders above, Pierre. But what I will say from what I saw, now, let me kind of explain to you guys how I watch film. The first time I just rewatched the game as in total and try to kind of see it again from the way I saw it watching the game. The second time I watched it all 22 for the first time, and I'm kind of looking at key plays. And that's what, you guys, and by the way, you guys are the members of the channel. I posted that video about an hour or so before this. So it's up now. It's available now, the all 22. And I'm looking at specific plays and kind of, looking at what happened here, what happened there. The second time I watched the all 22, I started focusing on people. And I told you guys in the post-game show that I would focus on Ahkello Witherspoon. Having gotten through the second full watch, I've watched the first half again so I've watched the full all 22, and then I'm watched another half of the all 22, just watching Ahkello Witherspoon, just watching him, right? And from what I'm seeing, this guy looks like he was in position at all times. Again, I got to watch the full game, but from the first half, just looking at his assignment and where he's playing, watching his engagement, seeing how close he is to guys when they're in his zone area, if he's carrying it or if he's doing a match, if it's basically if the guy goes vertical and he's the only guy in your area, even in a cover 3, you're going to chase him deep. playing the third. Looks like he was in position at all times. He looked very engaged in that defense from what I saw. And then, of course, we already know the play that he made, which was a significant play on almost intercepting that ball that was thrown down the seam to Andrews. Again, you guys that have the ability to watch the All-22 content that I posted, you're going to see that he's playing both receivers. He has Hollywood Brown on his left side, and he has Andrews on his right side. And he's playing it perfect. He's basically splitting the difference between the two, looking at Lamar by still, running and getting his depth. And when that ball was thrown, he breaks on the ball, undercuts, and almost gets an interception. Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be the next shutdown corner for us. I'm not even sitting here saying that he's going to be a better option than James Pierre eventually. Because again, I'm not one of those guys that judge people on one game. But I'm going to tell you, from some of the woes Ahkello Witherspoon had earlier in the season to what I saw in this game, and this dude is rangy. Hold on, let me get his measurables to make sure I have it correct, because I want to try to be as accurate as possible. Y'all know me. Let me give me a second. Ahkello Witherspoon is where's his measurables? This kid is 6'2", 195. And I don't know, this is probably early when he came out, so who knows what he weighs now, but they got him listed as 6'2". He's rangy, has decent speed, long corner. This might end up being something, right? Because even he said, and I notated this, let me read it here. He said in his press conference after the game, he talks about how he was more of a man press guy, right? He said, they asked him, what are the differences that you're seeing in this defense versus what you may have done in the past? And my man comes out and says, well, listen, I got to be honest. I come from more of a man press system where your responsibility is more just one guy, to where in the Steelers defense, he was like, you got to be able to cover areas and, be accounted for more things, also relying on your teammates. So he's still getting into the flow of it. I know it's cliche and we say that all the time, right? We always say they got to get used to the defense, but that's a real thing, especially if you're more used to doing one thing and now you're asked to actually play differently. So all I'm saying is, man, maybe, and I was one saying this as well, that I wasn't too sure about the 5th round pick. But remember, I wasn't saying that because of his ability. I was saying I started questioning the 5th round pick because we were not seeing him in the game. That was my question. Every week I was like, okay, he's inactive again. Now I'm starting to question it. But if we can see him play more and if he can have just solid games like he had, might have found something there. And if you get that for a 5th, I'm not mad. So like I said, my beef was never with his play. It was his not actually playing in the game and being active. He also went on to talk about, man, how he used the Henry Ruggs play as, a learning lesson. And again, like I said, that's cliche too, but it's good to hear people acknowledge that. He acknowledged how he took it, he studied it, he learned from it. And also, here's another key thing that he said, man, and I thought this was very honest. He said that it's a little more difficult to make consistent plays when you're not on the field, when you're kind of coming in for a package. He said, I'm not used to that. I was a starter. I was an every down starter. And, he needs that repetition as a corner to go through his lumps or have his good plays, have his bad plays like every corner. But I thought that was cool, man. I thought that was cool that he openly admitted that and openly said that, right? And if you watch his interview, you know what I'm seeing from him too? Because I saw this in his first interview when he came to the team. I like his demeanor. Meaning he's an even kill type of dude. Like his facial expression doesn't change. Like he's real grounded. And I wonder, does he play like that? And if he plays like he appears, we'll see. But he had a solid game. Okay, we got a donation here, man. So round of applause to Victory Asher. You right, Kenyon. I got to read what Kenyon said. The lesson that he learned from Ruggs is that he is a 4-2 guy, and he's not. Yeah, that is a fact, because Ruggs was out on that play. But Victory Ashes said, "What's up, Sim? Got here a little late, but just giving a little towards supporting the cause. Continue keeping us informed, bro. P.S. I am a male, Sim." All right, just make, you never know. Look, in today's climate, Victory Asher, I can't assume anything, man. Because even YouTube is very, got to be careful what you say and what you don't say, and you might offend somebody. I figured you were, but because the name isn't just bold, you know what I'm saying? I always ask. But yeah, thank you for the support, man. Really, really, really appreciate that. Let's see. But yeah, man, Ahkello Witherspoon, like I said, I'm not crowning him the champion after this one game. Remember the game when James Pierre got the interception to end the game, and everybody would see you can't be too high from one thing or too low from one thing. You let this thing evolve. And all I'm saying is, from what I saw so far in this game, if he can play consistently like that, we may have actually found a decent cornerback. Right? For a 5th round pick. That's all I'm saying. I just liked what I saw out of him. I'm going to, again, watch the second half on the All-22, just watching him, nobody else. From the first half that I saw just watching him, I like it. I like it. And again, obviously, we all saw the play that he made that was critical. So that's all I'm saying. Moving right along, guys, and the phone calls should be opening up pretty soon here. The next thing I got on the list, man, is Montravius Adams, man. Listen, there's another one. Can't anoint somebody right away, but listen, if he can give us those type of snaps, we may have lucked up and found a guy that was on a practice squad that fits and plays well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There are several plays that I encountered watching the game again. Several plays that I encountered watching the All-22 and watching the trenches. Even the play where the ball got batted down. This dude was working, body turned sideways, still had the wherewithal to throw his hand up. But the best play that I saw him make was in the second half. I'm actually going to show you guys a screenshot of it. Of course, can't show you the live footage because of monetized reasons. But again, those of you who are members of the channel, that video is up right now. I posted it before this video, tried to get it out early for you guys. The All-22 footage is there, and I highlight this play. But let me just show you the screenshot if I can get to it. Guys, I think you can see my cursor. Hopefully you guys can. Y'all will have to let me know if you can see it. And actually, this is a good time for me to just pause and ask. Can you guys see my cursor here? I'm rolling it around in a circle, the little arrow. Let me know if you can see that, because if you can, then I don't have to, describe it to you, like verbally. I can just basically point to the guy. No, cannot see it. Okay. I don't know why. Sometimes y'all can. You know what it is? I think it's because you guys can see it when I'm sharing a web page, I think. But all right, no problem. So basically what you're looking at right here. Let me try to illustrate this. On the far left, I believe that is Andrews, and that's one of our corners. All right, so let's go from left to right. Coming back, the next set of guys you see is, I believe that is Highsmith. Yep, I believe that is Alex Highsmith. You see number 42 there blocking him, which is Ricard. The guy that's right a bit ahead of Ricard is Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, right? And the guy that is lunging and wrapping his arms around Freeman is Montravius Adams. But the reason why I'm showing you this, I want you guys to look past that 25-yard line. Look at the 30, 35, 40, 45, and even 50. If he gets through this gap, then we're talking again about another game where the Steelers got gashed on a run. But this kid, Adams, Look where he is. Now, keep in mind, he was at nose. He was actually playing tackle. He scrapes across the formation, uses his left arm to push off the guy that you see kind of chasing him. That was who was blocking him, right? Uses his left arm beautifully as an arm bar, pushes him off, and is able to make this tackle for what ended up being a 2-yard gain. This kid saved the day. And again, I hate to keep advertising it, but for you guys who have done that and have become members of the channel, go watch the All 22. The video is about 30 something minutes, but you can skip around until you see it. You have to see this play. Phenomenal. And this is all I needed to know. This is all I needed to know, is to see that the guy has the motor, his motor. Bruh, we might have found something here. Again, listen, I can't say how good or bad he is. This is one game. But I'm telling you, that play, let me show you the screenshot again. Just look at that. He doesn't make that tackle. Off to the races. I want you guys to notice where Minka is. Minka is literally in the middle of the hashes. Freeman getting to the 40 untouched. Easy. He's easily getting to the 40 untouched. And depending on that angle, he might get to the 50 if he just keeps going to the left. And he might have enough wheels if Minka comes straight down instead of trying to meet him where he's going, he might house it. Maybe. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, man. And again, if you have the opportunity to watch that, you need to see that play. Last thing I'm going to mention. Got to give this guy credit too. Y'all know who played much better in this game? You'll see it on the All 22. Devin Bush. Devin Bush played okay. And he's another guy I highlighted in the All 22. Schobert made a few plays. Now, let me say this, because I think fans sometimes we get too crazy, right? A guy missed a tackle, then we're saying he didn't do this, he didn't do that. What you want to see, man, in a football game is consistency, efficiency. Some guys, sometimes they're going to miss a tackle. Sometimes they might not fill a gap. But the regularity of how well they do what they're supposed to do is how you judge them. And I have to say, from what I saw, watching the film again, Devin Bush and Joe Schobert played a lot better in this game. A lot better. Devin Bush actually made a heck of a play to end that first half. A heck of a play. I mean, came up and laid the boom. Laid the boom. I highlighted that in the footage. I said, okay, Devin Bush. And also, that boy TJ Watt, man. TJ Watt. Hold on, I'll get back to TJ in a minute. Round of applause to Q for the donation. TJ Watt is a dog, man. There was a play that TJ was standing up and he blitzed up the middle, knocked his guy way back, cleared the lane, and allowed Schobert to roam, and Schobert's right there to make the tackle. You saw more filling from Schobert and Bush. Now, can I say they did it on each and every play? Not 100% sure, because like I said, I told you guys how I watch all 22. I look at certain things. Right now, I'm focusing on Ahkello. The third time around, maybe I'll just look at just the linebackers. I did get a chance to see a lot of them because the first time around, I'm really looking, at the trenches. But played a lot better game, man. I even saw some instances where even if the play didn't come his way, I saw some pop out of Devin Bush in terms of him getting to the spot in some of the man coverages. I saw him looking like his sideline ability is starting to come back. Like on that run, I want to say it was, I can't remember which quarter it was, but it was the one where Lamar Jackson tried to run for it. It was like a 3rd and 4, and he runs out, to the right side. They were going, this way down the field. He tries to run out to the right side. Minka comes streaming, pushes him out of bounds, but Devin Bush is coming. And, it's like I said, there's a couple pass plays where the running back was going out in the flat and Bush meets him out there. I just saw a little more urgency out of Devin Bush in this game. But like I said, you'll see it. You'll see it. And you can ask Lyle McCombs, Lanisha, Destiny, Wide Diggy, Brent Fox, a few of you guys that I'm mentioning here, C. Antoine Hill, that are members to the channel, Odessa. You all will see it, and y'all can come back and confirm, yeah, Sim is right. Because it's on the film. It's not my opinion. It's on the film. It's literally there. So we'll see, man. Like I said, and I'll say this, and then let's get to the phone calls. Again, I'm not throwing Devin Bush in the trash yet. I'm just not. Because I understand, for whatever reason, whether it's mental or physical, I keep saying this, but it's the truth. The injury has affected his play this year. But because Devin Bush looked promising in his rookie season, because Devin Bush looked promising before he got injured, I am willing, as a fan, to say this is a down year for him. Let's see what he does next year. That's just me. And remember, guys, I was one of the main ones, too, saying, man, it's time for him to sit down. And I still would have felt that way had he not performed in this game. I would have still came here and said, nah, he got to go. But Devin Bush played better. Now, depending on your grading scale, it's up to you. But he played better against the Ravens than his previous weeks. And like I said, when you watch the film, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Even at the pass coverage. Remember that one pass that he got underneath Andrews? It was like earlier, I want to say, might have been the first quarter. Devin Bush was under it. He didn't quite stay with him. I mean, Andrews gets away from a lot of linebackers, but he stayed with him enough, got under that pass, made it a tougher throw for Lamar. That's what I'm saying. I saw better play out of Devin Bush against the Ravens. Will that continue? We shall see. But all right, guys, let's open it up for the phone calls, man. And then once we come back from the phone calls, then I will finalize the show by telling you who I think gets the most credit. It could go a lot of different places. It could even go individual players. But I'll just kind of speak a little bit on that. You see who I have in the thumbnail, so that kind of gives you a tip of who I'm going to kind of highlight. But let's open up the phone queue. And again, y'all know the routine. Keep it short, man. Keep it short. Y'all did a fantastic job last week. In and out, in and out. Please don't make me have to mute you, and don't make me have to cut you off. In and out. Don't be too long. Be respectful for other people, and I'll be respectful of you guys' time as well with my replies. All right, so let's do it. Let's see who we got in the queue first. If I can pull it up here. Let me turn the queue up so everybody can hear the callers. All right, first up, it is one of our favorites, man, Mr. Winterham, area code 803. What you got for us tonight, sir?
Good evening. How you doing today?
Good. Doing well.
Good. The one thing that I noticed, especially with the offensive line, I'm always getting on the offensive line. First half, point of attack was awful. I've seen Trey Turner, my man Green, and the other guy. They just didn't get that penetration, getting off the ball. I don't know what was the line calls or anything. I don't know who's on the offensive line to make the line calls and everything for us. But in the second half, I saw more penetration. I saw more movement. I saw guys like Joe Legg, number 77. I saw this guy getting down the field, and that was refreshing to see. Defensively, once again, we dominated on the point of attack. Got to give it up to Wormley. I mean, he played like a man who was possessed and angry at his former team, as well as he should be. Adams did a fine job. That's the one thing that we have lacked since Casey Hampton retired, is we don't have that nose guard. Even Allah done a fine job, but that Casey Hampton was the anchor of that defensive line. nothing almost got past him or he jammed it all up. Last but not least, my question is, with TJ Watt, the man isn't human. We all know that. Do you think now, if he's right in, as long as he stays healthy, do you think he can get to 22 and a half or more sacks? That's rarefied air. I would love for him and the Pittsburgh Steelers to have that all-time single-season sack record. Thank you so much. Hope everybody have a great rest of the week.
Man, Mr. Winterham, appreciate that call, man. So many things you said there, and I cannot disagree with anything you said, especially the offensive line. They did start to get it going in the second half. But I definitely want to comment on the last thing you said there. I don't want to be biased, but, man, TJ, let's say this. TJ has the ability to get it. He's at 16 and a half, I think, right now. I'm just saying. Is it impossible for TJ Watt to get 7 sacks in 5 games? It is not. Will he? I don't know. It's hard to predict that, but I will just stay neutral and stay safe and say, yeah, it's possible. It is definitely possible. I believe he could do it. I believe it's possible for TJ Watt out of the next 5 games to have 2 sacks in 3 of those games and maybe 1 sack in the other. There you go. Or what if he messes around and has another 3-sack game? You see what I'm saying? So hard to predict, but is it possible? I think it is, and it would be great, man, for a guy like TJ, considering the position he was in when we drafted him. You know, he wasn't the highly talented, you know, he wasn't the guy, you know, he wasn't high on the list as far as edge rushers, and we messed around and got a steal, and turns out to be what he is, and then for him to get the single season record would be phenomenal. So yeah, I'm with you there. Next up, area code 505. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
All right, Sim. So, being there in person, it was absolutely electric. And Mark Andrews didn't catch that ball, but I mean, it was so amazing hearing the whole crowd lose their damn minds. It is an experience I will never forget. I got to see Big Ben in another vintage comeback against our arch rival before he hangs it up. I don't care if we lose all of our games from here on out. That made my season. That's all I got, Sam. I just wanted to say that. Thank you and have a good one.
Hey, real quick, 505. I can't remember. I think you said it last time you called. Was that your first time there?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
First time in Pittsburgh, first time at Heinz Field, everything.
Oh, man.
First NFL game.
Amazing. Definitely thank you for your call, man. And I'll just comment on that. Listen, I say it to everybody. If you have the opportunity, you know, if you're in the area or, you know, if you want to make a trip out of it, if you're not in the area, it's nothing like being in that stadium, feeling the energy of your favorite team. You know what I mean? It's just like watching it on TV serves no justice. Watching it with a bunch of Steelers fans serves no justice. Being in a Steelers bar, that's a good feeling because everybody's high-fiving and all of that, but it's nothing like being there and just feeling the energy and just seeing the environment. Like I said, just walking around Pittsburgh and you see nothing but fans. Getting to the game, it's a sea of fans. Riding the train, you know, that little train system, like I told you, I got the cheat code. I go park like 5 stops away and it's free, and I ride the train. It no need of me paying $40 at the stadium. And just being on the train with nothing but fans. But like I said, if you've never been to the stadium and you've never heard Renegade in that stadium and to just feel that energy. And here's the crazy thing. In this game, we made plays right after that. Special. It's special. It is special. Lanisha could tell y'all. She's been there several times. Appreciate that, 505. Let me grab the next one. We have the first 937. What you got for us?
What up, Sim? Is this me?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Oh, it's on, baby. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. You know, it was a good showing. You know, regardless of how I feel about where the team is going, to beat the Ravens is still just special. You know, it's a rivalry.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. I want to talk to you like a brother, like we just standing right here watching the game, man. This is your boy from 937, of course, man. Very excited, man. Some good things. I know I got to keep it short, brother. To answer your question on the topic, because I decided I was going to try to make sure I always, stay with the topic to some degree. And I just think it was a collective effort, man. But I want to talk about this cat, Adams, man. This is the thing that gets me, man. This cat got called on Sunday after we got our butts handed to us by the Bengals. He was there for my research Monday morning, 6 a.m. or something like that. And this cat just plugged in, and he did a pretty good job. He didn't block the pass and, knock the ball down and everything, man. So, now don't get me wrong, it's just one game, right? But, and then here's the thing, too, with that, man. He had I watched his interview. See, I also look at the character of a person. You know what I'm saying? If they Steelers or not.
Oh, yeah.
Do they got black and gold potentially in their blood? You feel me? Because some cats just want to check. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can see in his interview, he seemed like he was elated to be playing for us. And you know what? That's what we want, Sam. We want a cat that's elated to be playing for us. You know what I'm saying? So, man, just a good win. And other thing I got to say, man, we don't tank, man. Everybody, the Pittsburgh Steelers, he just go ahead and give it up, and just, to get a first-round draft. We ain't man, we the Steelers. We don't do that. We fight.
Right.
We don't just lay down so we can get a first-round draft pick. We don't do that here, do we, dog?
Nah, man, that's crazy.
We don't do that, my brother. And everybody thinking that they Pittsburgh Steelers, we don't lay down. I ain't saying we win in the rest of these games, but doggone it, I bet you we don't lay down. But I'm just saying, I'm glad to acquire this Adams guy, man. He looks like he's going to help us. Besides that, man, Devin Bush improved, and I'm proud of him. We talked about that a few weeks ago, man. Get a brother a little time. I seen some fight in him. Hey, Sam, it makes me think he was listening to our podcast, man.
Right.
Hey, because the brother stepped it up, didn't he?
He did, man. He played a lot better.
That's all I got to say, Sam, man. Hey, it's all love, man. I'm appreciative to be able to get on here, man, because I know there's coming a time it's going to be hard to get through. Thank you for listening. Thank you for SteelersNation. Thank you, Sam. I'll talk to you, brother.
No problem, man. Always appreciate the call from you, man. And you had me cracking up last week when you said, I'm going to keep it short because I don't want you to be charging for my call. I love that. I love the realness, man. But yeah, it's crazy, right? Like Adams, the dude was on. I was just telling my wife this before I started the show. I said, you know what's crazy? This dude gets signed on Saturday or Sunday. You already hear about him practicing, warmly talking about him, and he comes in and starts and plays well. So what does that say for the other guys, that have been filling that position? You got to look at him if you one of them like, dang. My man came in and played, man, and played the best he could. So we'll see. We'll see. We might just have us a little sneak guy right there, man. And shout outs to the pro scouts that found him. Next up, the next 937. What you got for us?
Unmuted.
What's happening, man? It's Marlon, man. Still Crew 937. Man, I just want to talk about, man, for real, I was kind of negative last week. I want to be a little positive this week, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about my boy Deontay Johnson. My man just turned into, he's turned into receiver number one. You know what I'm saying? No question. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with Claypool, but right now, Deontay Johnson is the man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't answer the call as far as the drop balls and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not too impressed with the cornerbacks, man. I don't, but like I always say, I don't want to say it's just the cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, it's the scheme. Because when they throwing 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 15s on a consistent basis, and you got 3 and 4 people just standing right there, that's the scheme. That cannot be. It's like That's the only downside I got from the game. Everybody else showed effort. I just didn't see it enough from the cornerback, from the cornerback position. That's all I'm going to talk about this week, bro. I'm going to holler at you.
Hey, man, definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to actually stick right there with the cornerbacks real quick because I forgot to mention it. One thing about Ahkello Witherspoon, he's definitely going to have to develop is his tackling. His tackling and his aggressiveness. So I'm with you right there, Marlon, on the corners. Especially, remember when he tried to tackle Ricard and tried to hit him kind of high, like, ain't happening. That dude 300 pounds, bro. But yeah, I just want to see that. I know they. I didn't really watch him in college, but I hear that he wasn't much of a tackler in college. But he's gonna have to develop a little more aggressiveness, kind of like Trey Norwood. Trey Norwood wasn't known to be a tackler, and he's seems to be willing to tackle now with us. So hopefully Witherspoon can adopt that as well. And Claypool, yeah, man, guys, he's just. I showed it in the All-22. Even that one that Ben missed him a little bit long, Claypool doesn't separate. And if you go back and watch that play, he actually slows down for a second to push off the DB. He extends the left arm, and I'm like, yo, just keep running. Because remember, it went off of his fingertips. But it's like he's slowing down in preparation to push off to get separation. When if you just kept running, you might have got there. And he still didn't get much separation. And the only reason why I beef with him about that is because he has speed. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his technique getting off the line, not being able to stack those guys, but he's going to be better suited inside, man. He's definitely going to be better suited as a slot. It's becoming very apparent at this point. Shout outs to Miss Odessa, man. Round of applause for the donation. We appreciate you. We are moving right along, man. I appreciate you guys keeping it quick for me, man. We're doing a great job with the calls tonight. So the next one, Area 561, what you got for us?
Sam, what up? It's victoryashes, man, from West Palm Beach, Florida.
What's up, Victory?
I'm going to keep it short as well. I hope all is good. Real quick, man, I just think that if we can have, as far as the offense is concerned, we bring Zach Banner in, and hopefully B.J. Finney can come back. And that kid, John LeGlue, he showed up this past weekend. It was got off to a little bit of a slow start, but that kid came in and he made some things happen, man. And Dan Moore Jr. in there. With those four, I think those four could solidify our offensive line. So I don't know exactly what the status is. I think Zach Banner got about maybe 2 or 3 plays in the whole game. I don't know exactly what they're doing with him. But with those four, I think we can have a solid offensive line going forward. So, and that's pretty much all I got, man. So have a good night and go SteelersNation.
Man, my man, Victory Asher, appreciate that, man. And again, appreciate your donation earlier as well. Yeah, man, LeGlue deserves a lot of credit. Like you said, it started off a little rough, but, he got his bearings a little later. And speaking of Dan Moore, man, I showed it in the footage, right? This dude, Dan Moore does some special things, in my opinion, in the run game. You see quite often that Dan Moore is turning his guy the right way, or he's getting to the second level. And this is a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dan Moore, I think, is going to be somebody. I really do think that Dan Moore has a chance. I know it's easy for, again, we all fall victim to it as fans, especially live when we watch the game. We all react, knee-jerk reactions, right? Until you go back and see what really happened. Yeah, he's taking some lumps this year, as expected. He's a rookie left tackle going up against some real quality talent. But Dan Moore has a lot of bright spots, in my opinion. And I'm telling you, man, you see it. You see it come out in the run game in the fourth quarter. When Benny Snell and Najee was able to have those solid runs on that drive, go look at Dan Moore. Dan Moore was doing his thing, man. Like, that kid, I think he's going to be okay. Zach Banner, I don't know, man. maybe they don't want to upset the cart right now. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they feel like they don't want to mess with the flow, the rhythm, because even Chooks is playing relatively well. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the worst, he's not the best, but I think the line that we have assembled right now has gained some chemistry, and I'm thinking they don't want to interrupt that. Even though you saw when Homeboy went down, when Moore went out for a minute, they immediately switched Chooks to left tackle, and Zach Banner was in there for a minute. So again, I'm going to go back and watch that as well because I totally forgot about that. So I think it happened in the second half. So as I'm watching the All-22 for the second time, I'll probably see that. But I want to kind of see what Zach Banner was doing in those situations. But yeah, man, I think that young line will come around, man. You know, this was a nice season for them, and we'll see how they finish the season, and we'll see what we add to that going forward. Round of applause to Solo One. Appreciate the donation. That's a great assessment, Solo One. He says, Sim, Claypool has bad footwork. Martavis Bryant has separation footwork and balance. Claypool is only using speed and physical ability, which is not enough. Let me tell you something. This is something that Kenyon pointed out a long time ago as well. This is the reason why me and Kenyon were very high on Michael Pittman and high on the other Pittman. I forget his name, Kenyon. You're going to have to remind me. Is it Micah? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I can't remember the young Pittman's name, but even the young boy, the one that's in college, got footwork. You know, and as Shaq would say, feet work. Got that nice feet work. And you're right. Claypool is just using his physicality at this point and his speed. But think about it. Deontay Johnson gets separation. James Washington gets separation downfield. So clearly it has to be a technique thing because it's not like Claypool can't run. You know what I mean? But yeah. It is Micah. Okay. Oh, I was right. Okay, got you. All right, man. The next two calls. Area code. Oh, wait a minute. We might have got something else. We got a donation. Hold on, phone calls. Shout outs to my good buddy C. Antoine Hill. Round of applause. Antoine says, I'm telling you all right now, Claypool is going to go off next year. Some receivers have off season in the second, have an off second year season, then they improve later on. I don't disagree with that, but I guess what I'm saying, see, Antoine, is to me, Claypool is okay at what he does now. The things I'm talking about is more of his technique, and maybe that's what you mean. Maybe he gets more technically sound going into his third season. But this is why I say I would put him inside. Man, you put Claypool in the slot and let him work the middle of the field, running them slants or, catching them one-on-ones on an over route or something like that, or a deep dig or dog. Claypool is a problem. Think about it. Think about how many yards after catch he gets now when we hit him on a quick slant or something. But do that from the inside, Claypool will be a problem in there. Because sometimes he'll get matched up on the right corner. The nickel. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes you catch him out there with a linebacker. We saw that already this year. Who was it, Von Miller or one of them dudes? Keep that boy inside. Even though, as much as I love Juju in the slot, if I had my choice right now, if Juju was still out there, I might prefer Juju on the outside. Because Juju has shown us the ability that he can do both. As far as how well he does on the outside, nobody knows, but we've seen Juju down the field. You know what I'm saying? Claypool right now just doesn't show me that. I'm not down on him. I'm just, we're just assessing him based off of what we see. That's all. All right, next up, man, it was 678. What you got for us, 678?
All right, thanks a lot for taking my call, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, we were 2.5 games back. Everybody was stressed out. Now this week, we only are a game back. handled our business on Sunday. My question to you is, do you feel as though we could get to 10 victories, and is that enough to win the division? And then I also wanted to know, did you see Dan Moore check Green? Because Green be getting a little emotional, but he checked him after he had made that. I didn't think he should have got penalized for checking that guy because the referees weren't blowing the whistle. But nevertheless, though, after he got that penalty, he was, a little emotional. And Dan had checked him. I wanted to know, did you see that? Those are my little 3 questions there. That's all I had this evening. Thanks a lot for taking my call.
Man, thank you, brother. Appreciate your call as always. Actually, no, I missed that. I missed that, man. I'll have to go back and see if I can find the time spot, and then I'll just watch the real game, the real broadcast, so I can see him do that. But no, I missed that. And that's a good thing to see. Holding Kendrick Green accountable for his emotions, but also, that might be a leadership quality right there. Or it could just be the bond that they have, both being rookies. But I like that. I definitely like that. Like I said, from a rookie. Yeah, man. I don't know about the 10 wins, man. Honestly, guys, let's go through it. We really got to pay attention to this game Thursday. Because listen, the Steelers drop it. It doesn't put them out of it. It's an NFC opponent, but you would like to at least stack that win. But let's just say we didn't. It's a possibility. Even though the Vikings haven't been that great, they haven't played bad football. And we, as we've seen in this NFL, it's just styles make fights. We cannot look at the Vikings and say, "Oh, we're gonna." Nah, it could go either way. Short week. We just came off a real physical game. But if you look at who we got, right? So what do we have here? We're going into week 14, the Vikings. Week 15, the Titans. Woof. Week 16, the Chiefs. Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs. And then we got Cleveland at home, and then the Ravens in Baltimore. First of all, it's hard for me to see 10 wins for the Steelers. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's kind of hard for me to see that 10 piece. I definitely think 10 wins could win the division because I think Cincinnati going to drop some more games, and obviously Baltimore dropped a game against us. And everybody's schedule starts, is stiff in these last 5 games for the most part. So I could see 10 wins winning the division. 9 wins might do it. And I will say this. I think 9 wins gets the Steelers into the playoffs. Just right now, as I sit here today and I look at the other teams in the hunt, I have a feeling that the 9 wins will get the Steelers in. But, it's 5 games left. A lot can happen. But, of course, the Steelers control their own fate. We shall see. But I just don't know if 10 wins are in our future right now. Just my estimation. I'm looking at maybe 9 wins possibly, but I don't know. But yeah, at best, like my man Dom just said, at best, I'm talking shooting for the stars. I think at best the Steelers win 3 more games, which puts us at 9 wins. So we'll see. All right, man. We have another donation, man. I got to say, round of applause and shout outs to Lyle McCombs. I really appreciate when guys like Lyle, Lanisha does it always outside of YouTube. There's others like Odessa here tonight. I always appreciate when people like that especially donate because they, these ladies and gentlemen, man, are already paying a monthly fee to be a member of the channel. So that this is beyond special to me that you still donate. So thank you all that do that, man. I really, really, really appreciate that. All right, guys, last call of the we got 2 in the queue. So let's say these last 2. First up is 313. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Phil?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. This is Daryl Dukes from Detroit. I want to get your perspective. I always see kids in the chat talking. He was talking about draft picks. And he was talking about the defensive backs and everything, one from University of Auburn. And he also talked about the boy from Michigan. And looking at the Steelers' history of drafting defensive backs, when was the last defensive back? And I'm really getting stuck because I can go back to, Rod Wilson and stuff like that. But what defensive back that stuck out that we drafted in the Tomlin era and going back to Bill Cowher, because even though Ike Taylor worked his way up into the starting position, he was a project. But a high draft pick defensive back that really stuck out, and like you said, we need a physicality corner that's out there that can make those tackles, bring down those hits when you're going up against a 220, 225 pound receiver or a 230 running back, because our corners be small and they be with arm tackling and grab tackling, and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
So give me your perspective on that and what you would think, or who would you like to see them get. This is Mr. Dukes. Y'all have a blessed one. Go ahead, SteelersNation, for the best.
Daryl Dukes, man, definitely appreciate that. And I will say this, just to be fair with my opinion, and most people know this, during the season, Kenyon definitely watches. Well, we both watch, but Kenyon is going to know more players than I do at this point of the season, because usually the way it works, how we bounce off of each other, Kenyon has a list of players to watch. I watch them, and then I give my assessment. Haven't really paid attention to the defensive backs in college now to say who I prefer us to get. So I'd have to refer to Kenyon on that. But to answer your question, man, you said going all the way back through the Tomlin era and Bill Cowher, and help me out, SteelersNation. I couldn't miss somebody here, but wow. I mean, the obvious one that we all know that panned out is Troy, right? Now, if we're going to stick with just cornerbacks, like you said, Ike Taylor was a project. He ended up being something. Two other guys that I can kind of remember, and this is sad, because remember we had this talk here on the show before. I said, when has the Steelers ever had that premier cornerback in the modern day era? Two guys that I can remember that were decent. One of them you may or may not agree with. Well, three. I'll do the least one first. Y'all know who was okay if he would have stayed in the slot? Cortez Allen. Y'all remember that season? Cortez Allen was balling in the slot. Y'all remember that? And then the Steelers got too high on him, moved him outside. He wasn't the same. And I believe if I have my history correct, if I'm just using memory here, I'm freestyling. You know who else is another person I'm going to say, which is the reason why Cortez Allen ended up going outside, because he left. My man, Keenan Lewis. Keenan Lewis was all right. Remember that when he was with us? Now I see some names here in the chat. Y'all are saying Deshae Townsend and William Gay. Yeah, I mean, but you could probably say the same thing that my man said about kind of project-ish, as far as Deshae Townsend ended up being okay. William Gay was probably better his second time around. We all remember when William Gay used to get burned a lot. We all probably remember our concern going into that Green Bay game with William Gay having to probably be more responsible for Jordy Nelson. Another guy, the third guy I have is Brian McFadden. Y'all know why I'm going to remember him right. Let me see if y'all really know my history. But that's it. I can't really think of anybody else. And I don't see anybody else here in the chat really saying it. We all coming up with pretty much the same names. Like I said, some of you guys said William Gay. Some of you said Deshae Townsend. That's it. Yes, Solo One. William Gay used to get roasted. Look at Mr. Winterham. Thank you, sir. See, Mr. Winterham really be paying attention to me. That's absolutely right. That's exactly why I know all about Brian McFadden. But yeah, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one, guys. And yeah, it is a fact. Steelers don't have the greatest of histories drafting cornerbacks, man. So, All right, last call of the night, man. Area code 202. What you got for us? Two zero two. 202. What it do? 202. Can't hear you, 202. We're going to have to let you go, man. I hate to have to do that, but couldn't hear you at all. I'm not sure what may have happened. Lawrence Ledee said Rod Woodson. I mean, you going way back. Antoine Blake. Who said Antoine Blake? Man, y'all having memory lapses, man. y'all, man, come on, man. Antoine Blake did get that pick 6, though. Was that against the Chargers? Mike Hilton was undrafted. See there? But again, none of these people we're naming were the guy at corner. Even Mike Hilton was a slot. You see what I'm saying? Even Cam Sutton, we drafted him, but do any of us feel like right now Cam Sutton is the guy? Think about it. We talking about Pierre or Ahkello Witherspoon more than we talk about Cam Sutton being on the outside. All right, guys, since 202 we couldn't hear, I am going to take one last call. So this will be the last call. One just popped up. Area code 470. What you got for us? Somebody said Bryce McCain, but the Steelers didn't draft him, did they? Wasn't he a free agent? We already said Ike Taylor, Antoine. All right, 470. What you got for us?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Do you have a question for us?
When did you start watching the Steelers?
Oh, wow. I probably was around 7 or 8 years old when I first started watching the Steelers.
I just started watching them with my dad.
That is cool. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
12.
Oh, 12. Okay. Now, let me give you a tip. At 12, this is a perfect time to really start watching football because you will learn a lot about the game of football. And I'll say 10 years from now, you will be able to talk about football a lot. But it looks like 470. It looks like you disconnected. But thank you for calling. You know, it looks like I'm reaching the youth now. But like I said, and let me give you another tip. Don't be so excited to speak to someone. You know, I'm just a regular person. You know, even if I was a celebrity, I'm still just a person. You know, you can appreciate those that you might like or admire or what have you, but we're just people, okay? So it was much of a pleasure for me to talk to you as it is, I guess, for you to talk to me. So always remember that. We got a couple donations. Round of applause to see Antoine Hill and Shadow Slayer. Cornell Lake. Nah, we didn't mix. See, what's crazy is so few and far in between. None of us even remember. See, Antoine Hill says we never had great cornerbacks because we rely on the rush. Yep, and the blitz. Blitzburg. Remember when we were Blitzburg? Shadow Slayer says, Sim, why you think Steelers have a hard time drafting corners and safeties? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad luck. I won't go as far as saying it's bad scouting. I mean, you could say that, but then if that was the case, then why are we able to draft other positions so well? You know what I mean? I mean, it could be a combination of both. I don't know. It could be a combination of, and actually I could take this off now. It could be a combination of what the Steelers are looking for and they miss, or I don't know. Maybe it is the evaluation. Who knows? But it is strange. But again, you know, it's clear. We hit at least one time. They identified Troy Polamalu, and my God, we already know how that turned out. So very, very interesting thing, man. Very, very interesting thing. Yeah, Brett, man. I definitely wanted to mention that, because, and this is just a sidetrack, but Brett said, thank you, Sim, for very wise words. Don't get starstruck. Thanks for calling. Yeah, it's never do that. Because listen, let me tell you, man, again, y'all know that, I had a little run when I was doing music and stuff like that. I mean, I may not have ever gotten to a Drake level, but, I did some things. I did some things, and I've met a lot of people. I've been around a lot of circles, from Jeezy to Nas to Lupe Fiasco. I actually got a picture with me and Lupe like right over there in my closet. LL Cool J. I mean, and I never was that. I've always stayed and remained right here. Never, of course you might see somebody and be like, oh, that's so-and-so, but that's it. Never put people that you admire or quote-unquote celebrities on this pedestal. They're just people. The only difference is they're on TV or they're on YouTube, or that's it. That's it. Be yourself at all times. That's something my father always taught me, and it stuck with me. And here's another tip. Young man, if you're still listening, when you enter a room, act like you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. It don't matter who's in there with big wig, yada, yada, yada. You're supposed to be there too. And I live by that even today. And I've been in some rooms. I've been in some VIPs and all of that. And not tooting no horn or nothing, but famous people have approached me saying, what you do? But you know why? Because I'm in there like I'm supposed to be there. So in their mind, the way my demeanor and everything is, they like, oh, you somebody. It used to happen to me and my boy, and shout out to my man Jason. It used to happen to me and him all the time when we was doing music. We in a party with people from TLC, I mean, all kinds of people in there, and they coming at us. What y'all do? Because we illustrate that, you know what I'm saying? So that's all. Act like you're supposed to be there. Let's see. What do we talk about now, folks? Who's responsible for the win? That's what I'm supposed to give you guys, right? Well, there's a lot of people that I say you could credit for that win. Quite a few. Some very good individual performances. Let's start with Chris Wormley. Let's start with TJ Watt. Let's start with Deontay Johnson. Right? A lot of people. Let's start with Adams. A couple of them run stops, could have made the difference. I already showed y'all the one that it was wide open had he not made the tackle. But I gotta give credit to two people that I think have gotten most of the criticism this whole season. Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Canada. The reason why I put both of those gentlemen in my thumbnail was because, listen, the speculation is out there. What does Ben call? What does Canada call? When Ben is in no huddle, he's calling his own plays. Tomlin said, well, that's not exactly true. He can still hear Canada. So they don't give us the sauce. I think what we all can glean from this is that Ben definitely calls some of his own plays. Of course he does, especially in no huddle. But also Matt Canada is there with him, supervising or what have you. Ben is an 18-year vet. He has the ability to do that. He has the cliche, if you will, or the cachet, excuse me. He has the cachet to do that. So I'm sure it's a combination of both. What I'm not going to do is say it's all Ben, and I'm not going to say it's all Matt Canada, but let me tell you something. In that second half, they was in their bag. And Ben played very well. Now, Ben, like I said, Ben threw one or two interceptable balls. He did. Remember that one he tried to fit into Ray? I don't know why he threw that. I mean, I don't know why he threw it. 3 people around Ray. Luckily, it hit the ground. The other one, as I looked at the game again on that hot read where Marlon Humphrey juggled it a little bit in the drop, Claypool never turned around. Come on, Claypool. That's another thing, Claypool. Chase, that's another thing we need you to do, because this is twice I think it's happened with him. You need to read blitz, zero coverage or whatever. You need to read that as a receiver. You know who does that very well and definitely did, and we missed that from him? Juju Smith-Schuster. That's what, again, for you guys that didn't like Juju, that's what Juju brought to the table. Juju was always on the same page for the most part with Ben. Juju would read the defense, know where to sit down in the zone, knew when a blitz was coming and knew he was hot or became the hot because he made himself available. Read what was happening. And you saw it. Again, watching the game, I was mad at Ben at first because he double clutched it. I think I said it in the post game. You rewatch it, you say, oh, Ben was looking for the hot. Corner was playing off of Claypool. Chase, you're the hot read. Ben gets it to you. Use your big body. Maybe you break a tackle that might have bust that play wide open. I know, if. But I'm saying that was Ben's thought. You saw him, oh, it's not there. He held it, then just tried to get rid of it. Come on, Claypool. Those are the things, the mental things. We got to get you on board, brother. Come on. But let me tell you, man, Ben played a clean game, man. He did, and I said it Sunday. We can still win games with Ben Roethlisberger, and two things can be right at the same time. I still say it's time to move on. I'm going to miss him. Yeah. We've been watching this guy for the last 18 seasons. You're going to miss him. But it is time to turn the page and start a new era. But it's not to say that if the situation is right, under 40 attempts a game, decent enough run game, defense playing serviceable, Ben Roethlisberger can still win those football games. Yes, he can. And Matt Canada, y'all see the design of those plays on those touchdowns? Let's talk about the second one. That's a route design. You know, Deontay Johnson does the whip route, called it at the right time, and see again, that might have been Ben, might have been Canada, but the fact that it's in the playbook worked perfectly against that coverage, touchdown, right? You might not think that one was so cute, but that was a great route to run against the coverage, easy peasy. But that first touchdown to Deontay Johnson, let me tell y'all, I should have got a screenshot of that and showed y'all. Bruh, again, Lanisha and Destiny, Brent Fox and others, go watch the film. It's up for you tonight. Go watch it. Look at that play design. Let me paint the picture for you guys. Offensive lineman blocks down to the left. You have, I think it was either Gentry or Fryermuth. I can't remember which one it was, but he comes across the formation, goes out into the flat, and off a play action. Ben fakes to him, gets Chuck Clark to jump, right? Fakes to him, then he hits Deontay Johnson wide open. But why? Scissor route. Deontay Johnson is the number one on the outside. And I think it wasn't Claypool. I believe it was Ray beside him. They cross. The Ravens, two defenders didn't read it correctly. Both of them basically went towards Ray. And Deontay goes right across the middle of the field for this. Beautiful. Remember what we have been saying all these weeks? Have we not been saying, dog, when are we going to get some routes that develop downfield, some different route combinations? That was it. That was a Matt Canada special. So for you guys that don't like Matt Canada and say he doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve, that play was not in the Steelers' arsenal. I haven't seen that. Again, listen to all the stuff that happened. Offensive line, all blocks to the left. All blocked to the left. Tight end lined up on the left. Comes across the formation to go into the flat. It is a play action fake. Ben Roethlisberger pumps, gets Chuck Clark to jump, because he's just pulling guys down, thinking he's going to hit them in the flat because it's play action. You think he's just going to do a quick play action. He ain't going to take off and run. But then you have your number 1 and your number 2 receiver, scissor route. DBs don't read it right. Deontay wide open. That is what you call scheming your receiver wide open. All off of play action. Beautiful play call. Beautiful play call. That, one of these. Beautiful. And maybe it's what some of you guys said the other week. Maybe we don't see a whole lot of that because they don't trust the offensive line. That's possible. It's possible. You know, Ben can't hold the ball so long during the duration of the game because he might not trust the protection. But remember, at this point, the O-line was balling. O-line was balling. We just ran the football 9 yards here, 13 yards there, 8 yards by Benny Snell, another 7 yards. So it set up play action. And perfect time to call that play. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And yeah, you're right. Football mind, that actually does help the O-line. Beautiful, man. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and get into the chat here now. We'll spend a little bit more time here. We'll go till about 9 o'clock. It's 8:54 right now. But that's my assessment, man. Steelers played a very decent game there, man. We'll see what we do against the Vikings. I will more than likely do a pregame tomorrow. My son and I have a barbershop appointment. So if I do a live stream, it'll be later tomorrow evening. It might be a pre-recorded video, but we'll see. I'm going to shoot for it being a stream like this because I like interacting with you guys. But yeah, let's get into the chat. And we'll see, man. Listen, like I said, I'm not any higher on the Steelers or any lower. I'm still right where I was. We'll see. It's week by week. You know, I still feel like our offense starts too slow, man, for me to really start having any expectations. And again, the game came down to a failed 2-point conversion. You know what I'm saying? So had TJ Watt not gotten that pressure, we might be doing like this today instead of being optimistic. C. Antoine Hill says, Sim, thoughts on that Pickett fake slide? Everyone is complaining about it, like when AI crossed Jordan. Laugh out loud. Nah, I'm going to be honest. What I liked about this fake slide is I like Pickett thought, his frame of mind to do that. That's what stood out to me more than anything else. The wherewithal to do that, spirit moment, beautiful. However, I'm going to lean to the rule book on this one. It's not fair to the defense. You saw 2 defenders check up. That's not fair because the rule is once a quarterback starts into a slide, you can't touch him. I feel as if that should not have been allowed based on the rules. Because if I'm playing defense and I see him going to a slide, I'm not getting anywhere near him. Because if I get anywhere near him, fall on him or something, they're going to call a flag. That wasn't fair. I like that he did it, but it wasn't fair. I'm sorry. It wasn't fair. You can't give the motion like you're going into the slide knowing that rule protects you, and then you keep running. That is a disadvantage. But it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, Pickett. Let me see what else we got here. What else we got? Brett Fox says, Sim, how successful do you think our running game will be on Thursday? That I don't know, man. I need to watch the Vikings. Maybe I'll do that sometime tonight. I can watch the condensed version. I need to take a look at the Vikings, man. I haven't seen much of Minnesota, to be honest. I have not. So that's my homework, is to take a look and kind of see, where they, can maybe clamp down the run game, formations and stuff like that. We'll see. I honestly don't know much about the Vikings, man, as far as where they're strong at, where they're weak. Really don't know. Dom says, as soon as Pickett started to slide, the play should have stopped right there. Yeah. It just wasn't fair, man. It wasn't fair to the defense. That's crazy. Lyle McComb says, did you notice on the last touchdown that Ben actually dropped back out of shotgun, which made the DBs delay their reads? The last one. Well, what, the play action one? I think that was out of pistol. Was it out of pistol? I can't remember. I can't remember if, for some reason, I'm thinking that was the pistol formation. I have to go back and look and see where Najee was at. But for some reason, my mind is remembering that as a pistol. Y Diggy says, like the homie A. Ward said in most recent battle, I need the Steelers to start cooking Cousins like the Vikings backfield. Yeah, man. That's slick right there. I like that wordplay. Mr. Winterham says, similar to the Lamar fake, like he's getting ready to go out of bounds and sometimes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, it's now the out of bounds one. I can be a little more forgiving because there's not a rule saying that, oh, he's going out of bounds. But the slide, nah, B. The slide, you can't do that. That ain't right. It was beautiful though. Like I said, I love Kenny Pickett for doing that. That was dope. And man, it would be nice to land somebody like Pickett, right? But I don't know. I think his stock is up, guys. What else y'all got? Yes, football mind. Justin Jefferson could be a serious problem. And Kenyon would recall how much I was high on Justin Jefferson. Really like that kid, man. Really like that kid. Leonard Green says, Ben never does well on short weeks. Hope we can get that run game popping. Yeah, absolutely, man. And you would expect after playing that game, you know, guys, I'm sure, are going through it. You know, that was a very physical, very high emotion game. What was that going on? Oh, the blog talk. All right, I'm about to shut blog talk down just to let you guys know who are listening to the queue. If I didn't get to your call, 202 and 404. We'll definitely get you in next time. Apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened with 202. We couldn't hear him. But let me go ahead and close that queue down. Only going to be here another minute or so. Give me one more, guys, then I'll get out of here. Why don't we replace Bush? Let me ask you, Rob, who we replace him with? Like, honestly. Don't speak from your heart. Let's think about it. At this moment, who do we replace Bush with? Buddy Johnson is really our only hope, or UG3. But do we really think that they come in and play any better? Plus, Buddy Johnson, maybe. Maybe Buddy Johnson, you know, he was a tackling guy in college. Maybe, you know, you could just say, go hit that, and he does it. But like I said, Bush played a lot better against he did, man. He played a lot better in his Ravens game. Some of you guys might not, you know, really realize that or maybe even acknowledge it. Maybe your expectation of playing good is different. But I promise you, just using the eye test. No dog in this fight. Just using my eye test. Devin Bush played a much better football game against the Ravens than he had in the past weeks. And if Devin Bush can play at least at that level, then you keep him in there. Maybe he's getting out of his funk. I don't know. Yes, I do think so, Haas. I think Witherspoon gets to start again if Hayden is out. And again, keep in mind, Hayden didn't practice today. So that's not a good look. I will read Mr. ABS. He says, Sim, I just need our Steelers family to be real about the rest of our schedule and not be too emotional about a win against a division rivalry. Facts. We got up for that game, but the schedule is tough. Facts. Facts on facts, guys. It was the Ravens. But again, I say it again. Vikings on Thursday. Get a little bit of rest. Then you got to go play Tennessee at home, in Heinz Field. Then you got to go play Kansas City. Then you got to go play Cleveland. Say what you want about Cleveland, but again, like my man said, that's a rivalry game again. Then you got to finish in Baltimore. So, just saying. I will read this last one. Derek Moore says, Sim, is Washington in the doghouse for wanting to be traded? He needs more touches. Good question. Good question. More than likely, I see Q says definitely. I mean, I try not to speak definitively just because I don't know. But something's up, man. But here's the thing. Washington has played. Washington has been out there. And when we go on 11 personnel, and Ben just doesn't target him as much. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think James Washington is a decent, solid receiver. Reliable hands, toughness, can block. I think if he plays on another team, you'll see, James Washington get touches and probably be successful. He's been successful when we've targeted him, consistently. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. I really don't. Like I said, he has played, but a lot of times you are seeing more of Ray too. So it's kind of like Ray McLeod has eaten into his snaps. So I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I don't know. But all right, good people, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, man. We had another great one tonight, man. I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. Y'all know that. Let me see what we got going on here. Let me check. Let me see. What's the view count, man? Let me see how many of y'all up in here. 118 live viewers. Okay. That's all right for a Tuesday night. But let's go ahead and shut it down, guys, because like I said, I'll probably be back to you guys tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I can't confirm a time right now. But again, this is why I always say do this. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're subscribed, make sure you hit that little, am I pointing at it up there? That little notification bell. Make sure you hit that so you know, hey, Sim is live. So look out for that tomorrow. Like I said, it's possible it might be a pre-recording, just depending on how the night goes. But I'm going to try to do a little small stream tomorrow. It won't be a long one. But look out for that. So subscribe, cut on your notifications. And again, if you like what you saw tonight, man, show me your appreciation by doing that. Just boop, hit the like button so at least I know you appreciate it. If you don't like it, hit the dislike. I'm open to that too. All right. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys coming through, you guys and gals. Thank you so much, man. I love you guys, man. We're all family. So again, there's no show without you all. So don't act like this is my show. This is our show. And I appreciate you guys for giving me a place and an audience to talk to. All right. So y'all know the routine. I'm always going to say, have a great night. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you guys actually tomorrow. All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Take care. And thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.